We welcome each and every one of you for today's Nithyananda Yoga session. We are now going to be starting the session with the Sadguru Vandanam. Request all of you to please keep your hands together in the Atmanjali Mudra in front of your heart region. Please close your eyes. Nithyanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. The next is the Shiva Mula Mantra Japa. Continuing to keep your hands together in the same position. You're going to be invoking the presence of Paramashiva into this Nithyananda Yoga session by doing the japa of Om Ham Haum Shivaya Namaha 11 times. We are going to be doing this internally while we will be doing it out loud such that it is easy to follow along. Om Ham Haum Shivaya Namaha. 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 The next is the Tattvachamanam, the ritualistic cleansing, for which we will be needing the traditional cup and spoon, the Panchapatram and the Uddharini that we use for the daily puja. We're going to be starting off by cupping the palms and bending the index finger slightly. And from the center of the palm, we're going to be taking one Uddharini of water and sipping it along with the word Swada. We're going to be repeating this 3 times. Om Atmatattvam Shodayami Swada. Om Vidya Tattvam Shodayami Swada. Om Shiva Tattvam Shodayami Swada. Please wash your hand. Now, with the base of your right hand thumb, please wipe your upper and lower lip twice. Om Ham Hridayaya Namaha. Now, with the tip of your index finger, ring finger and middle finger joined together, touch your above your upper lip and below your lower lip. Please wash your hand. Now with the tip of your ring finger and thumb joined together, touch your right nostril, left nostril. With the tip of your index finger, ring finger and thumb joined together, touch your right eye, right ear and your left ear. Please wash your hand. Now with the base of your little finger and thumb joined together, touch your navel center, right chest, left chest, and with the tip of all the right hand fingers joined together, touch above your head, your right shoulder, left shoulder and your heart center. And with this, we're going to be entering into today's Nithyananda Yoga session. Before we begin, we're going to be doing the Sankalpa, the conscious resolution, where we're going to be consciously visualizing ourselves manifesting all the ultimate yogic postures through your body, through which you're manifesting the best of health and all the yogic powers as revealed by Paramashiva and revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. So first we're going to be starting off by clasping the right palm over the left and placing it on the right thigh, closing the eyes and intensely visualizing Om Mamopata Samasta Duritакshaya Dvara Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Prityartham Shri Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Prityartham Cha Adya Purvokta Evam Guna विशेषेण विशिष्टायाम् अस्यां शुभतिथौ पूर्ण आरोग्ययुक्त दृढगात्र यौगिकशरीरसिद्ध्यर्थं परमशिवशक्ति आविष्करणार्थं नित्यानन्दयोगाभ्यासं करिष्ये. Now please wash your right palm. Om Apaupasprisya. And before we begin the Nithyananda Yoga session, a quick reminder that the Nithyananda Yoga practice is for general wellness and educational purposes only. It is not to be taken for or used as a replacement to any medical advice. And a sincere request to each of you who are participating to please be in listening with your body and practice within your own limits and capacities. And if you have any injury, medical conditions, or if you're already pregnant, please consult your healthcare professional. And before practicing it, if at any point in time you feel any pain, dizziness, discomfort, gently stop and rest. So today we are going to be entering into the yoga session starting with the Vama Shakhasana as part of the Chaturtha Vinyasa Krama. We're going to be starting by being seated with one heel drawn in close to the perineum and the opposite foot resting comfortably in front. As you keep your hands together in the Parashu Mudra and place it in front of your stomach, doing the Shanta Kumbhaka. The Shanta Kumbhaka is where you inhale and visualize the prana being inside and outside of the body. Engaging in the Moola Bandha, firmly contract the muscles of the pelvic floor. As you gaze forward, visualize yourself as a strong branch extending from a stable trunk supported at the base, yet free to reach outward without strain in Vama Shakhasana.
Vama Shakhasana.
The next is Vyakyanasana. We're going to be continuing to be seated in the same position as you keep your head, neck and spine in a straight line, relaxing your shoulder, placing your left hand in front of your mouth, keeping the arm relaxed and resting your right hand on top of your right knee. Doing the Vaishnavi Mudra, holding the outer vision steady without blinking while awareness remains inward. Doing the Shanta Kumbhaka and Moola Bandha, gazing forward, visualize yourself flowing outward with clarity and restraint as if words arise only when understanding is complete in Vyakyanasana.
Vyakyanasana.
Throughout the Nithyananda Yoga session, we are going to be doing the japa of Om Ham Ham Shivaya Namaha internally, continuously. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham internally, continuously. As you do the Nivrityasana, you're going to be continuing to be seated in the same position, bringing both your palms together in front of your chest with the fingers interlaced. Doing the Vaishnavi Mudra, holding the outer vision steady without blinking while awareness remains inwardly absorbed. Doing the Shanta Kumbhaka and Moola Bandha, visualize Bhagavan in your heart as a radiant infinite light. Feel his presence. as an eternal source of bliss, wisdom, and cosmic energy residing within you in Nivrityasana.
Sukhasanam samasthaya astau vakshasi samhatya arihanta bhagavantam kayavangnobi smaran sarvepsitani parityajet.
The next asana is Atma Leenasana. Your legs are going to be in the same position. As you lengthen your spine, as you bring your palms together in front of you, opening them so they face towards your body, lean your upper body forward and gently lower your forehead into your open palms. As you do the Vaishnavi Mudra, holding the outer vision steady without blinking, Shanta Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Now bring your gaze towards your nose as you do the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize the sense of me dissolving inward as if awareness falls back into itself and rests at its source in Atma Leenasana.
Atmaleenasana.
The next is Makarasana Dve. We're going to be starting from a lying down position with you're going to be laying on your belly as you keep your feet hip width apart, placing your hands behind your head, elbows wide. As you engage your back and glutes to lift your chest, head, arms, and thighs off the ground while you only keep your abdomen onto the ground. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra Samavritti Kumbhaka. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling evenly, maintaining the rhythmic breath without strain. As you do the Mula Bandha and gaze towards the ground. Visualize yourself as a crocodile resting calmly by a serene riverbank, embodying patience, strength, and deep stillness in Makarasana.
Makarasanam nama urasa bhumim sprishantam shanaihi padau cha prishte utthapya makarakaram samacharet.
And the next is Parvatasana Dve, coming onto the knees as you keep your toes tucked under you for support and your spine lifted tall into head, neck and spine in a straight line, grounding evenly through your shins as you draw your lower belly in to support your posture. As you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Rechaka Kumbhaka, exhaling fully and holding the breath out without inhaling while remaining steady and aware. As you engage your core into the Mula Bandha, visualize yourself as a mountain, solid, unmoving, and unaffected by weather passing around it in Parvatasana Dve.
Parvatasana.
The next is Vrishabhasana Dve, starting from a kneeling position with the knees hip width apart. As you gently lean towards one side and lower that elbow towards the ground beside your body. Keep your opposite arm relaxed, resting on your opposite thigh at the other side. As you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Rechaka Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, visualize yourself as a powerful bull, standing firm and steady on the earth beneath you in Vrishabhasana Dve.
Kuparau stambhavat kritva parshvenaikyena samshrayet eta proktam maya devi vrishabhasanam uttamam.
The next is Virasana Trini, starting seated with your legs uncrossed, bringing your left foot to the side of your left hip, keeping it grounded, then drawing your right foot close to your groin as you rest your toes lightly on the right thigh, placing your hands on your lap as you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Rechaka Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Gaze towards your third eye as you do the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself seated like a hero after a victorious journey, firmly grounded with legs strong and supportive beneath you in Virasana Trini.
Virasanam ekapadam kasmin vinyase dura samstitam idarasmin tatha paschad virasanam idam vidu.
The next is Chatushkonasana, starting from a kneeling position with your right knee bent and your right foot resting beneath your seating bones. As you bend your left leg and thread your arms underneath the left ankle, drawing the sole of the foot in towards your chest. Keeping your spine as tall as you can as you reach your right arm up and over your head, bringing it down to meet the left hand from sides of your neck. As you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Rechaka Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, gaze downwards as you visualize yourself stable and clear from every direction, like a structure supported evenly at all four corners in Chatushkonasana.
Chatushkonasana.
The next is Vama Bhujasana, starting seated with one heel drawn in close to your groin and the opposite foot flat on the ground with the knees raised. Lengthen your spine as you begin to lean your torso down and away from your lifted knee. If your left knee is raised, you're going to be lowering your right elbow towards the ground, onto the ground of the right side of the hip as you allow your body to settle comfortably into this position. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra with awareness resting deeply within, Rechaka Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha gaze downward. Visualize yourself resting with full chest as if leaning into the support of a strong, reliable arm that will not give away in Vama Bhujasana.
Vama Bhujasana.
The next is Shwasagatyasana, starting seated with one foot flat onto the ground and your spine upright, lifting the opposite foot and placing it on top of the grounded foot. Keeping the toes steady for balance as you hold yourself over here, interlocking your hands, holding on to the opposite elbows and placing it on top of your raised knee. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Rechaka Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, visualize breath and movement becoming one continuous action. No separation between inhale, balance, effort, and stillness in Shwasagatyasana.
Shwasagatyasana.
Now we are going to be repeating the asanas on the other side, starting with the Vrishabhasana Dve. Start kneeling with your the knees hip width apart, gently lean to the other side and lower the elbow towards the ground beside your body, placing it firmly for support. As you place the other hand onto your hips, doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Rechaka Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, visualize yourself as a powerful bull standing firm and steady on the earth beneath you in Vrishabhasana.
कूपरौ स्तम्भवत् कृत्वा पार्श्वेनैकेन संश्रयेत् एतप्रोक्तं मया देवी वृषभासनमुत्तमम्.
And next, Virasana Trini. Continuing to be in the seated position with your legs uncrossed, bring your left foot to the sides of your left hip, keeping it grounded, then drawing your right foot close towards your groin, resting your toes slightly on your right thigh. Placing your hands on the respective thighs, doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Rechaka Kumbhaka. Exhale fully and hold the breath out without inhaling. As you contract the muscles of the pelvic floor, doing the Mula Bandha, gaze towards your third eye. Visualize yourself seated like a hero after a victorious journey, firmly grounded with legs strong and supportive beneath you in Virasana Trini.
वीरासनम् एकपादमध्ये कस्मिन् विन्यसे दूरसंस्थितम् इतरस्मिन् तथा पश्चाद् वीरासनमिदं विदु.
And now, as we enter into the Chatushkonasana, you're going to be starting from a kneeling position with your right knee bent and your right foot resting beneath your sitting bones. As you bend your left leg and thread your left arm underneath the left ankle, drawing the sole of the foot in towards your chest, keeping your spine long as you reach your right arm up and over your head, bringing it down to meet the left hand. As you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Rechaka Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, gaze downward. Visualize yourself stable and clear from every direction, like a structure supported evenly in all four corners in Chatushkonasana.
Chatushkonasana.
And now repeating the Dakshina Bhujasana, repeating Vama Bhujasana on the other side, Dakshina Bhujasana. As you start seated with one heel drawn in close towards your groin and the opposite foot flat on the ground with the knees raised. Lengthen your spine as you begin to lean your torso down and away from the lifted knee. If you're keeping your right knee raised, then you're going to be lowering your right elbow towards the left elbow towards the ground, towards the left hip, allowing your body to settle comfortably. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Rechaka Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Japa. Visualize yourself resting with full trust, as if leaning into the support of a strong, reliable arm that will not give away in Dakshina Bhujasana.
Dakshina Bhujasana.
The next is Shwasagatyasana, starting seated with one foot flat on the ground and your spine upright, lifting the opposite foot and placing it on top of the grounded foot by crossing your ankles. As you wrap your forearms around your knees, placing it there comfortably, engaging in the Shambhavi Mudra with the awareness resting deeply within Rechaka Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize breath and movement becoming one continuous action, no separation between inhale, balance, effort, and stillness. In Shwasagatyasana.
Shwasagatyasana.
So now we are going to enter into the next set of asanas, starting with Mukta Padmasana. From a seated position, you're going to be placing your legs onto the opposite thigh into the Padmasana, leaning back onto your elbows and then placing your upper back and crown of your head onto the ground as you arc your back. Holding onto your respective toes with the support of your index and middle fingers into the Prana Mudra, engaging in the Kevala Kumbhaka breath to pause naturally, observe without forcing, maintain relaxed awareness as you contract the muscles of the pelvic floor into Mula Bandha and gaze towards your nose. Visualize yourself as a lotus flower that has fully blossomed and risen above the muddy waters in Mukta Padmasana.
Mukta Padmasanam Kritva Uttanam Shayanam Charet Utparabhyam Shiro Veshtya Matsyasanam Tu Rogahrite.
The next is Samanasana Dve. You can lift up to a seated position as you continue to keep your legs into the Padmasana position. Lengthen your spine and interlace your fingers behind you into the Parashu Mudra. As you bend, lean your upper body forward, guided by your forehead towards the ground. As you engage the Jivachala Kumbhaka, one forcefully moves the retained prana through all the limbs of the body in an upward and downward direction along with the mind. As you do this, engage in the Mula Bandha and gaze downward. Visualize all the inner currents leveling out as if uneven waves of energy are settling into a steady, balanced flow. In Samanasana Dve,
Samanasana.
you can now raise up and relax your Padmasana position, starting seated in a cross-leg position. You're going to be rotating one knee inward while bringing the knee onto the ground with the inner ankle placed touching onto the ground from the sides of the hip. As you place your hands on your stomach, one resting over the other into the Samputa Mudra, cupping both your palms and keeping it on top of each other. As you do the Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, gaze towards your nose. Visualize yourself as a channel to the infinite cosmos while the body remains grounded into Mother Earth in Trikonasana Dve.
योगजैनहस्तलिखित पुस्तकस्य प्रथमपत्रे सप्तदशचित्रे त्रिकोणासनं प्रकाशितम्.
And now into Panditasana as you start seated on the ground with your spine upright. Cross your foot onto the opposite thigh, allowing the knee to relax downward. Rest your hands gently on your thighs and form a Bindu Mudra by touching the index finger and thumb and placing it on top of your respective knees. As you keep your chest open and shoulders relaxed during the Jivachala Kumbhaka Mula Bandha, visualize and imbibe the mind of a true scholar, clear, discerning, and unhurried, able to see what matters without getting lost in excess information in Panditasana.
Panditasana.
And the next is Janu Shirshasana, starting seated with both of your legs extended as you bring one foot in towards your thigh. You're going to be reaching forward to grasp towards the big toes of the extended leg with your fingers. As you lengthen your spine all the way from the base of your spine, you're going to be bending forward, holding onto your feet. As you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mulabandha, gazing towards your nose. Visualize yourself as Lord Ganesha, calm, wise, and humble. Imagine bowing gently with your forehead close to your knee in Janu Shirshasana.
जानुशीर्षासनं नाम एकपादं प्रसार्य च अपरं जानुन्यस्य शिरसा जानुस्पृशेद्यदा.
And the next is Yantrakarasana. From a seated position, you're going to be placing your right heel at the perineum and clasping the outside of your left foot with your right hand as you slowly extend your left leg up, straightening the knees. And while you engage this asana, one thing which you can do is placing the hands from inside onto the ground over here and completely twisting towards the raised leg side so that you feel the full stretches in the hip region. Opening out, looking towards the opposite side as you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mulabandha. Gaze towards the side. Visualize yourself embodying the yantra's precise geometry, aligning with its cosmic harmony in Yantrakarasana.
यन्त्राकारासनं नाम हस्तपादाभ्यां भूमिं स्पृशन् कोणत्रयमधिष्ठाय यन्त्रचनामिव धारयेत्.
And next is Ardha Bhujasana. The legs are going to be in the same position, just you're going to be bending it over your shoulder as you lift your arms up and place it behind your neck, keeping your head, neck and spine as straight as you can. If you're doing it on the right side, then the left palm is going to come straight onto the ground as you use that as a support to keep your body completely upright. Engaging your core into the Mulabandha as you keep your awareness resting deeply within in Shambhavi Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka, Om Nithyananda Parameshivoham Japa. Visualize yourself holding power close to the body, controlled, contained, and deliberate rather than scattered in Ardha Bhujasana.
अर्धभुजासन.
Now, the leg which you're holding towards your shoulder is going to now slowly go behind your neck. First, to open up the hips, what we can also do is to rock your legs comfortably in front of you. And once you're comfortably able to stretch yourself over here, you can place your leg behind your head and turn towards the side of the leg that is behind your head, facing towards the side, keeping your hands together in front of your chest in the Namaskara Mudra, doing the Jivachala Kumbhaka, forcefully moving the retained prana through all the limbs of the body in upward and downward directions along with the mind. As you do the Mulabandha, visualize discipline placed above impulse as if the foot over your head represents mastery over instinct and habit. In Dakshina Pada Mastakasana.
दक्षिणपादमस्तकासन.
Now you can relax, coming to a comfortable cross-leg position. As you bend one arm and bring the elbow onto the thigh, resting the side of your face onto the respective palm. Place the opposite hand on top of the opposite knee and remain still. As you do the Shambhavi Mudra with the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mulabandha. Visualize your true self not as the body but as a conscious luminous point of energy. Located near the heart center in the Udasinatasana.
पादमाकुञ्च सम्यक् स्थित्वा सुखासने स्वे जानुनो ऊर्ध्वमं सकूपरौ संस्थाप्य करतले शिरधत्ते.
And now repeating Trikonasana Dve on the other side. Starting from a seated position, we are going to be now rotating one knee inward, bringing the knee onto the ground with the inner ankle touching the ground outside of the hip, bringing your hands towards your stomach, one over the other into the Samputa Mudra, cupping both the palms together like a lotus. As you do the Jivachala Kumbhaka, Mulabandha and gaze towards your nose. Visualize yourself as a channel to the infinite cosmos, while the body remains grounded into Mother Earth in Trikonasana Dve.
योगजैनहस्तलिखितपुस्तकस्य प्रथमपत्रे 17 चित्रे त्रिकोणासनं प्रकाशितम्.
And next, into the Panditasana, as you start seated on the ground with your spine straight, cross one foot onto the opposite thigh, allowing the knee to relax downward. Rest your hands gently on your thighs and form the Bindu Mudra by touching the index finger and thumb together, keeping your head, neck and spine in a straight line, opening your chest. As you do the Bindu Mudra, Jivachara Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, visualize and imbibe the mind of a true scholar, clear, discerning and unhurried, able to see what matters without getting lost in excess information in Panditasana.
Panditasana.
The next is Janu Shirshasana. As you start seated with both of your legs extended forward, bending your left knee in towards as you bring the feet next to your thighs, bending forward towards the right extended leg, holding onto your toes. As you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, bringing your gaze towards your nose. Visualize yourself focused and serene, drawing inward in head to knee pose. So one thing to remember in this asana is to bend all the way from your spine. Sometimes what we tend to do is bend from the upper back, which will make it even more difficult to bend forward. We can keep the head, neck and spine in a complete straight line and bend all the way from the lower back as you bring your forehead towards your knees. And if you're not able to comfortably bend into this asana, you can also slightly bend your knees, but bring your forehead towards your knees.
जानुशीर्षासनं नाम एकपादं प्रसार्य च अपरं जानुनीन्यस्य शिरसा जानु स्पृशेद्यदा.
And now repeating Yantrakarasana. You're going to be twisting towards the left side as you lift your left leg completely straight, opening your upper body towards the opposite direction, looking towards the right side. As you hold yourself over here, doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, visualize yourself embodying the yantra's precise geometry, aligning with its cosmic harmony in Yantrakarasana.
यन्त्राकारासनं नाम हस्तपादाभ्यां भूमिं स्पृशन् कोणत्रयमधिष्ठाय यन्त्रचनामिव धारयेत्.
And now the extended leg is going to come onto your shoulder as you lift your left hand and hold it behind your neck. If you are keeping your left hand behind your shoulder, left leg behind your shoulders, you're going to be lifting your left hand and holding it behind your neck, supporting your legs, and keeping the right palm flat onto the ground, keeping your head, neck and spine into a straight line. As you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Jivachalaka Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, visualize yourself holding power close to the body, controlled, contained and deliberate rather than scattered in Ardha Bhujasana.
Ardha Bhujasana.
And now bringing the leg behind your head slowly as you look towards the side of the leg behind your head. So if needed, you can also rock your leg in front of you to get a mild stretch before you put it behind your head. Keeping your hands together into the Namaskara Mudra. Doing the Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Japa. Visualize discipline plays above impulse, as if the foot over the head represents mastery over instinct and habit in Vamapada Mastakasana.
Vamapada Mastakasana.
Now you can come to a comfortable seated position as you bend one arm and bring the elbow onto the thigh, resting the side of your face onto the respective palm. So if you did last time onto the left side, now you can do on the right side. And if you did on the right, you can do on the left side. As you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, visualize your true self not as the body but as a conscious, luminous point of energy, the Paramanu, located in the heart center, in the Udasinatasana.
पादमाकुञ्च सम्यक् स्थित्वा सुखासने स्वे जानुनोरूर्ध्वं कुर्परौ संस्थाप्य करतले शिरधत्ते.
And next is Hastasana Dve. For the Hastasana Dve, we're going to be starting with your head, neck and spine in a straight line, bringing one leg at a time behind your head. First, you can bring your right leg behind your head if you're comfortable with that. And then slowly bringing the left leg as well. As you keep your legs comfortably behind your leg, you're going to be firmly placing your palms onto the ground and lifting your body off the ground. Balancing only on your hand as you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mulabandha. We are going to be gazing towards the third eye. Visualize your hands as instruments of control and precision, capable of stabilizing even the most demanding situations in Hastasana Dve.
Hastasana.
And now, continuing to rest your leg behind your head, both of your legs behind your head. You're going to be placing both of your hands into a fist in front of your perineum, stacked over each other. So you're going to be bringing both your legs behind your head as you keep your legs into a fist and stack it over each other in front of you. Holding yourself over here as you engage into the Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mulabandha, gazing towards your nose. As you visualize yourself drawing inward as if layers of identity are being folded and set aside. In Sagara Gandhasana, hold yourself over here. So if you need a support of the wall to balance over here, you can definitely take the support of a wall as well. And if you have a partner with you, you can take the support of a partner to hold yourself in this asana.
Sagara Gandhasana.
The next is Sthira Guda Padasana. You're going to continue to keep your legs behind your head as you bring your hands together in the Namaskara Mudra. Doing the Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mulabandha, gaze forward as you visualize absolute steadiness in an extreme position where control overrides instability and nothing feels rushed or chaotic. In Sthira Gudapada Shirsasana.
Sthiragudapada Shirasanam.
Okay, now relax your leg. You're now going to be bringing both of your legs over your shoulders. As you bring your hand above your head, wrapping your arms underneath the knees and placing the palms on top of your head as you simultaneously lift your feet off the ground. Doing the Shirasi Mudra by resting the hands on the head. Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mulabandha, gaze towards your nose. Visualize yourself as a mountain mass lifting effortlessly from the earth in Himalayasana.
Himalayasana.
The next is Tanu Kubjasana. You can now keep the feet flat onto the ground in front of you. Wrap your arms underneath the knee joints from inside to hold on to the opposite elbows, engaging your core firmly to hold yourself over here. As you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mulabandha, visualize your body slender and contained, drawing strength inward in Tanu Kubjasana.
Tanukubjasana.
The next is Veera Vankasana. Starting from a seated position with your thighs together and spine tall, you're going to now slowly lift your legs off the ground as you raise it toward the sky, bringing your hands behind your knee joints to support yourself into this position. As you keep your legs as straight as possible along with your spine, doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mulabandha, visualize embodying the hero composed under pressure, legs rise on gathered inner strength, not force, in Veera Vankasana.
Viravankasana.
You can now relax your leg. As you start from a seated position, a comfortably seated position, with the soles of your feet together in front of you. Separate the heels, keeping the toes together. As you wrap your left hand around the right hand into the Samputa Mudra, As you do the Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mahamudra Bandha, contracting the muscles of the pelvic floor into Mula Bandha and simultaneously tucking your chin in towards your chest, locking your throat and simultaneously drawing the abdomen inward and up into the Udhyana Bandha. Bringing your gaze towards your nose, visualize Goddess Parvati's gentle strength and unwavering devotion as you do the Parvati Asana Dve.
द्वौ पादौ मेलयित्वा तु बुधाग्रे च पृथक् न्यसेत् भूमौ तद्बूर्धं च करौ सम्पुटौ स्थापयेत् तत्.
The next is Apanagamanasana. Now we're going to be bringing the legs into the Padmasana position by placing each foot onto the opposite thigh, soles facing up towards the sky. As you keep your head, neck and spine in a straight line, relaxing your shoulder, rest your hands on your lap. Palms are going to be stacked over each other as you do the Samputa Mudra, cupping both the palms. Doing the Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, visualize energy moving downward in a smooth, uninterrupted flow, like a river turning calmly towards the earth in Apanagamanasana.
Apanagamanasana.
The next is Sthira Sukhasana. Continuing to be seated in a comfortable position, bending both the legs inward and pressing the heels against the perineum. You're going to be resting your hands on top of your respective knees into the Yoni Mudra, joining the ring finger above the extended middle finger, touching the thumb's tip into the Yoni Mudrasana. As you do the Shanta Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, you're going to be doing the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself settled in unwavering stability, deeply supported by the steady presence of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. Feel his divine energy grounding and uplifting you, infusing your posture with profound strength, calm resilience and unshakable balance in Sthira Sukhasana.
पार्श्वाग्रपादाभ्यां द्वयो आकुञ्चितयो अन्योन्यपीडनं येन अवस्थितस्य स्थैर्यं सुखं च जायते स्थिरसुखम् आसनम् इति.
The next is Simhasana Trini Purvanga. Starting in a low squat, joining the soles of your feet evenly in a coiled position with the knees wide. Place both your palms firmly at the center in front of your lower abdomen as you inhale, lifting swiftly through the nose, engaging your core. As you hold the breath, lift your hips off the ground with strong control. As you balance on your hands and the feet, doing the Vaishnavi Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, gaze towards your nose. Visualize yourself as a majestic, bold lion with commanding presence and fierce courage. The lion radiates strength, leadership and unwavering self-assurance in Simhahasana Trini Purvanga.
चक्रबन्धे पादतले सममेव संयोजयेत् गुप्ते देशे हस्तद्वयं दृढमाधाय शीघ्रं पूरयेत्.
The next is Simhahasana Trini. Start seated with soles of your feet together in front of you, knees pointing outward. Place your hands in the gap between your feet and the shins as your fingers spread wide apart. Press firmly onto the ground as you lift your hips off the ground, keeping your knees lifted high. Doing the Vaishnavi Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Now please gaze towards your nose. Visualize yourself as a majestic, bold lion with commanding presence and fierce courage. The lion radiates strength, leadership and unwavering self-assurance in Simhahasana Trini.
चक्रबन्धे पादतले समं संयोज्य गुह्यास्थाने हस्तयुग्मं दृढं निधाय शीघ्रं पूरयेत्.
The next is Gridhrasana Purvanga. Starting in a low squat with the feet close together, balancing so your sitting bones hover just above the ground. Wrap your arms around your sitting bones from inside your knees. You're going to be wrapping all completely around your hip as you do the Vaishnavi Mudra, holding the outer vision steady without blinking while awareness remains deeply within. Continuing to engage the Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, Visualize a wise vulture soaring high above, embodying keen perception and spiritual insight in Gridhasana Purvanga.
पूर्वपृष्ठमार्गे हस्तद्वयं नीत्वा कट्याग्रे दृढतया बद्धा संयोज्य.
The next is Bhutai Asana, starting in a deep squat position with your feet in the same position as you wrap your arms around your legs and reach around your back to clasp your hands behind you. Lean your forehead down gently for depth. As you hold your hands behind you into the Parashu Mudra, doing the Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Gaze towards your nose. Visualize your body gathering into the elemental core of existence. In Bhutai Asana.
Bhutayasana.
Next is Gridhrasana. Continue to remain in a low squat position with the feet almost together, balancing so that your sitting bones hover just above the ground. Wrap your arms around your knees, reaching under the thighs and the seating bones as you clasp your hands securely beneath. Doing the Vaishnavi Mudra, holding the outer vision while the awareness remains deeply within. Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as a powerful vulture with an acidic core that cleanses and transforms all the impurities, neutralizing what others cannot endure in Gridhrasana.
चक्रबन्धे कटिमुक्षिप्य जानुपृष्ठे निवेशयेत् गुल्फ्यो पृष्ठे हस्तद्वन्द्वं बध्नीयात् योगबन्धधृत्.
Next is Simhahasana Trini Uttaranga. Continue to remain in a low squat position with your feet close together and sitting bones hovering just above the ground. You're going to bend forward slightly and slide your flat hands onto the ground, palms flat onto the ground, placing them between your thigh. As you keep your chest lifted and spine long, pressing the backs of your hands firmly with both of your feet as you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as a growing, determined lion, discovering the power of your voice and presence in Simhahasana Trini.
पादद्वयेन हस्तपृष्ठं दृढं निपीडयेत्. श्वासनिरोध विसर्गौ सप्तवारं समाचरेत्.
The next is Muktayasana. You can relax from the low squat position and come to a kneeling position with your spine tall and knees together. Try to bring your sitting bones down onto the ground by spreading your legs out wide. And as much as possible, try to form a 90-degree angle at the knees by completely spreading your feet away from your hip. Hold this position as you do the Vaishnavi Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize the body settling into the spacious, grounded freedom. Knees and shins support fully, creating stable foundation, inviting release in Muktayasana.
Muktayasana.
And now, from the same position, you're going to be spreading your knees also wide apart. While keeping your foot wide apart, you're also going to keep your knees wide apart in front of you and bringing your hands together into the Namaskara Mudra in front of your chest as you do the Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Gazing forward, visualize yourself supported by 3 clear points, forming a stable triangle that cannot collapse, doing the Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham into Trikonasana Trini.
Trikonasana.
Next is Saraswati Asana, extending both your legs completely straight in front of you. As you bend forward towards the extended feet, bringing your forehead as much as possible towards your knees. As you hold your toe with the index and middle fingers wrapped around your big toe as you do the Prana Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Gaze towards your nose. Visualize Goddess Saraswati's unique gifts, flowing wisdom, pure eloquence, and creative insight arising through steady receptivity in Saraswati Asana.
Saraswati Asana.
And next is Asti Pavasana. We're going to be starting by bringing both the feet together in front of you. Bending forward, extending your hands parallel towards the ground, completely wide apart, resting next to your knees. As you keep your forehead onto the ground for depth, doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Gaze towards your nose, visualize prana, visualize deep surrender, emptying excess weight into the ground in Astipavasana.
Asthipavasana.
Now, from the same position, you're going to be extending your legs straight, bringing your legs into a V-like position as you extend your hands straight parallel towards the ground, bringing your forehead onto the ground. Feeling the stretches of your hips as you do the Vaishnavi Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Gaze towards your nose. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Japa. Visualize yourself as a serene sea turtle gliding effortlessly through the vast ocean in Kurmasana.
कूर्मासनमपि श्रेष्ठं दुर्धरासनमुच्यते गजासनं समुद्दिष्टं ततो धारसनमुच्यते.
And next is Jalakasana. Your legs and hands are in the same position, just the palm is going to be now moved more in closer towards the hip, making a diagonal like position as you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Gazing towards your nose, visualize yourself as a silent spider weaving a delicate web at dawn in Jalakasana Purvanga.
नितम्भादपृष्ठे भुजौ निवेश प्रसार्य पादाङ्गुष्ठयोरैक्यं कण्ठेन सम्यक् कुर्यात्.
And now in Jalakasana, you're going to bring your feet together as you extend your hands from beneath your knees. Keep doing the Vaishnavi Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as a wise spider patiently waiting at the center of your intricate web in Jalakasana Uttaranga.
चक्रबन्धे हस्तद्वयं जानुपृष्ठकुहे निवेश्य भूमौ प्रसारिताङ्ग श्वासेनोदरं व्याधाय प्रविशेत्.
And now we are going to enter into Jalakasana Uttaranga. From the same position, you're just going to be bringing your hands and locking it on top of your ankle above you. Holding on to your ankles with both of your hands as you do the Vaishnavi Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Gaze towards your nose. Visualize yourself as a mystical spider spinning luminous threads under a moonlit sky in Jalakasana Uttaranga.
उल्पसन्धिषु हस्तद्वयम् आधाय ग्रीवापृष्ठे दृढं बध्नीत् शून्यककुम्भकं सप्तकृत्वा सम्यक् ततः स्थिरो भवेत्.
And next is Buddhayasana. You're going to be continuing to be in the same position as you do the Vaishnavi Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize awareness spreading evenly through the body as you settle into complete release and bring your gaze towards your nose into Buddhayasana.
बुधय्यासन.
And next is Kurmasana Pancha. With your hands remaining beneath your shin and the thighs, you're going to be interlocking your hands behind your back by bringing the back of your elbows onto the ground and interlocking your hands behind your back. Doing the Kurma Mudra, drawing the senses inward, becoming still and withdrawn like a tortoise within its shell. Engaging in the Jivachala Kumbhaka, forcefully moving the retained prana through all the limbs of the body along with the mind as you do the Mula Bandha and gaze towards your nose. Visualize yourself as a gentle turtle drawing inward into your protective shell in Kurmasana Pancha.
कूर्मासनं नाम पादौ पार्श्वयोः प्रसार्य हस्तौ च पृष्ठे बद्धा कूर्मवद्विजृम्भेत्.
You can now come back to a seated position. As you start seated with your legs extended and knees slightly bent out wide, you're going to bring your elbows beneath your knees as you slowly lift your legs off the ground and balance only on your arm. As you do the Vaishnavi Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mulabandha, gaze towards your nose. Visualize yourself as a fierce, powerful lion in the movement of attack. In Simhasana, Chatur.
हस्ततले गुह्यस्थाने निधाय कटि मुक्षिपेत् जानुपृष्ठं भुजाभ्यां सन्निकर्ष्य व्यायामं समाचरेत्.
And now you're going to be slightly bending your legs. You're going to be slightly bending your elbows in the same position. As you extend your leg completely straight in front of you, bending your elbows slightly. Holding yourself in this position, doing the Kurma Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mulabandha. As you bring your gaze towards your nose, visualize yourself as a wise turtle rising steadily out of the water, drawn by an instinct for renewal and purpose. If you need the support of a wall to hold your legs up straight, you can also take the support of a wall to do this asana into Utthita Kurmasana.
उत्थितकूर्मासनं नाम पादौ पृष्ठतः प्रसार्य हस्तौ च पुरतः उदरं भूमेर्ध्वं धारयन् कूर्मोद्धृतिरिव.
You can now relax. The next asana is Shastrikasana. For this, we're going to be laying on the back with your feet together, knees bent, allowing the knees to fall naturally wide apart, letting the gravity gently open your hips. Extend your arms over your head with the palms placed together into the Anjali Mudra. As you do the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, we are going to be slightly contracting the throat, drawing the breath slowly in towards the nose nostrils as you produce the sound of an ocean, retaining the breath within and then releasing slowly through the nose as you preserve the same sound of the ocean. As you do the Mulabandha and gaze upward, visualize yourself as a sharp, gleaming dagger, precise, focused, and unwavering in Shastrikasana Purvanga.
उत्थानशायी भूय पादतलकरतलानि चतुर्धा संयोजयेत् भूंसितभुज जानुद्वेषै कृत्स्नं कायेभ्यासं समाचरेत्.
And now, as you continue to be in the same position, you're going to be keeping your palms flat onto the ground and slowly lifting your entire upper body off the ground as you continue to keep your knees widely spread apart and feet together. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra and Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mulabandha, you're going to visualize yourself as a slender, resilient dagger, forged through challenge and refined by inner fire in Shastrikasana Muttaranga.
त्रिशिखाग्रे स्थापयित्वा त्योक्षेपं समाचरेत् श्वासनिरोधविसर्गौ सप्तधा कृत्वा स्थिरं तिष्ठेत्.
Now we're going to be beginning with your knees on the ground and toes tucked beneath your sitting bones, spreading the legs out wide and resting the hands on your respective knees, and then slowly lifting your knees off the ground, balancing only on your toes. Keeping your head, neck and spine in a straight line, placing the palms on your respective knees, doing the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Shambhavi Mudra and Mulabandha. Visualize the fierce form of Paramashiva manifesting as Lord Rudra in your inner space. Stormed eye, trident wielding, dissolving illusions with compassionate ferocity in Utkatasana Trini.
उत्कटासन.
And next is Meenasana, beginning with your knees on the ground, toes tucked beneath your sitting bones, spreading the legs wide apart and resting your hands on your respective knees. You can place your knees onto the ground now. As you do the Shambhavi Mudra and Ujjayi Kumbhaka, drawing the abdomen inward towards the spine into the Uddiyana Bandha. Visualize fluid grace, adaptable, resilient, intuitive, through instinctual navigation of life's flowing depths in Meenasana.
Meenasana.
The next is Gava Siddhasana, starting in a kneeling position in the same as you remain in the same position. Start keeping your knees spread out wide, keeping your spine tall, doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mulabandha. gazing straight in front of you. You're going to be now visualize a settled like a perfect guardian of stillness, body rooted, supported on fertile ground, asking for nothing in Gavasiddhasana.
Gavasiddhasana.
Now you can lift your knees off the ground, balancing only on your toes, and the entire upper body you're going to be turning it towards your right side and gazing towards the ground, tucking your chin in slightly towards the chest, entering into the Jalandhara Bandha. Keeping your hands into Padma Mudra by keeping the base of your palms together and touching your little finger and thumb joined together while opening all the fingers out wide, making your fingers into a blossoming lotus-like position. As you do the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, you're going to be visualizing yourself embodying Rama's balanced strength, unwavering Guru devotion, and fearless asceticism, holding steady through tension, expressing calm authority aligned with inner dharma in Ramanathasana.
Ramanathasana.
And from the same position, you're just going to gaze up towards the sky. As you remain in the same position, visualize yourself as a mountain lord, rooted deeply yet rising effortlessly in Girivaranathasana.
Girivaranathasana.
Now, twist your upper body towards the left side, turning towards the opposite direction. Remaining in the same position, now you're going to look towards the ground. As you do the Jalandhara Bandha, locking your throat slightly, visualize yourself embodying Rama's balanced strength, unwavering Guru devotion, and fearless asceticism, holding steady through tension, expressing calm authority aligned with inner dharma in Ramanathasana.
Ramanathasana.
And now looking up towards the sky in the same position into Girivaranathasana. Visualize yourself as a mountain lord, rooted deeply yet racing effortlessly into Girivaranathasana.
Girivaranathasana.
We have now strained our ankles slightly by balancing on the ankle for a very long time. You can also take a moment to relax your ankles for some time as you use the support of your hands to slightly massage your ankles. And once you're relaxed, you can again come back onto your toes, tucking your toes and lifting your knees out wide. You're now going to slightly lift your hips off your knees, balancing in the air, keeping your hips balancing in the air as you keep your hands together in the Anjali Mudra and place it above your head, doing the Ujjayi Kumbhaka Udyana Bandha, drawing the abdomen inward towards the spine and using your core to hold yourself over there. Visualize yourself as a tall, imposing dagger standing firm and unshakable in Shastrikasana.
पादाङ्गुष्ठौ संयम्य करद्वन्द्वं शीर्षे निधाय कुञ्चित जानुकोनै प्रसारित पार्श्व स्थान्यग्रे.
Okay, now relax, coming to a standing position, keeping your feet grounded and spine tall. Lean your chest slightly forward while keeping your back broad and steady. Place your palm flat on your upper back from above as you point your elbows towards the sky. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, visualize an eagle standing high on a mountain ledge, still alert and completely at ease with the vast space around it in Garudasana Pancha.
Garudasana.
And now, from a standing position, you're going to be bending forward all the way from the bottom of your spine, bringing your hands onto the ground, holding onto your feet as you keep your head towards your knees. Completely feeling the stretches of your shin and your back as you hold your toe with the index and middle finger into the Prana Mudra. Inhale deeply through the nose, hold the breath comfortably and then release through the nose, which is the Sahaja Kumbhaka. Mula Bandha, gaze towards your nose. Visualize all of the energy channels in your body from head to toe, flowing smoothly and powerfully in Padangushthasana.
पादाङ्गुष्ठं कराभ्यां गृहीत्वोध्वं प्रसारयेत् पादाङ्गुष्ठासनं प्रोक्तं सर्वनाडीविशोधनम्.
If you're still not able to enter into this asana, what you can do is slightly bend your knees also, but We need to bring the hands towards the feet in this asana. We're now going to enter into the next asana, Dvijasana, coming to a tall standing position. You're now going to bend your body forward and wrap the hand from under your thighs as you lift your toes off and finding the balance. You're going to be slowly extending your legs up towards the sky. Finding the balance and holding yourself over here. Interlocking your hand behind your back into the Parashu Mudra. And slowly stretching your leg completely up towards the sky. Doing the Mula Bandha, visualize yourself with the balance of strength, grace and transformation in Dvijasana.
द्विजासनमप्यत्र कुक्कुटासनमुत्तमं फणगुप्तासनं चैव गरुडासनमेव च.
The next is Ekapada Shirshasana Dve. You're going to continue to balance on your left leg as you bring your right leg behind your leg while you stand tall, keeping your hands together in front of you into the Anjali Mudra. So what you can do is you can keep your hands into the Anjali Mudra and also rest your feet onto your elbows for finding the balance. If you're able to push yourself, you can slightly push yourself over your shoulder as well and then bringing it behind your head. You can attempt the asana as much as possible, and if you are able to bring it behind the head but you just need balance, you can also take the support of a wall to do this asana. Doing the Sahaja Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, visualize yourself embodying yogic mastery and openness. Feel deep flexibility, strength and concentrated awareness expanding within in Ekapada Shirshasana Dve.
एकपादशीर्षासनं नाम एकं पादं शिरसि संस्थाप्य अपरं पादं भूमौ स्थापयित्वा समं तिष्ठेत्.
From the same position, you're just going to push your legs even more in towards your neck, keeping your hands together in the Namaskara Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize excess wind and agitation moving downward and out of the system like pressure slowly releasing from the body in Apanasana Dve.
Apanasana.
Repeating Dvijasana on the other side now. As you bend forward and wrap your hands around your left thigh. If you need the support of a partner to balance, you can take the support of a partner. And if you need the support of a wall, you can take the support of a wall. As you hold yourself into Dvijasana, you can twist your upper body now towards the right side. Looking towards the right side, keeping your hands behind your back in the Parashu Mudra by interlacing your hands. Doing the Mula Bandha to hold yourself firmly in this asana. Visualize yourself with the balance of strength, grace and transformation in Dvijasana.
द्विजासनमप्यत्र कुक्कुटासनमुत्तमं फणगुप्तासनं चैव गरुडासनमेव च.
You can now relax. Doing the Ekapada Shirshasana, standing tall with your feet hip width apart and slowly bringing your weight now onto the left foot, right foot, as you bring your left foot behind your head. Or you can also place it on your right elbow and slowly bring it as much as possible above your shoulder and then behind your head. You can do it in whatever stage you are, just hold yourself over there. This will help you to get more into the asana when you practice it regularly. You can keep your hands together into the Anjali Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself embodying yogic mastery and openness. Feel deep flexibility, strength and concentrated awareness expanding within in Ekapada Shirshasana.
एकपादशीर्षासनं नाम एकं पादं शिरसि संस्थाप्य अपरं पादं भूमौ स्थापयित्वा समं तिष्ठेत्.
The next is Apanasana Dve. Start standing tall with your spine lifted and your gaze steady, remaining in the same position. As you just push your ankles slightly towards the opposite shoulder or towards the opposite elbow if you're holding it in front of you. As you do the Namaskara Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize excess wind and agitation moving downward and out of the system like pressure slowly releasing from the body in Apanasana Dve.
Apanasana.
Okay, now relax. Entering into Vama Shuddha Padasana, standing tall with your weight grounded through one leg and then using your core, engaging your core to lift the other leg off the ground, extending it completely parallel towards the ground, keeping your hands together into the Namaskara Mudra, doing the Sahaja Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. If you need the support of a wall, you can take the support of a wall as well. As you see your standing foot as being washed clean from the inside out, old heaviness draining away, fresh steadiness rising up the leg in Vama Shuddha Padasana.
Vamapada Shuddhasana.
The next is Gavakshasana. Coming to a standing position, as you start standing on one foot with your spine tall and gaze steady, you're going to lift the opposite leg and place the inside of the foot against the inner thigh of your standing leg, drawing it up towards the groin, softening the standing knee slightly. In an easy position, you can bend it slightly. You're going to be placing the back of your foot onto your opposite thigh as you bend slightly, keeping your hands in the Namaskara Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself seeing through the eye of a cow, viewing the world without aggression or fear in Gavakshasana.
Gavakshasana.
And now you can come to a seated position as you place one leg onto your opposite elbow. You're going to be placing the right foot onto your right elbow and extending the left foot by twisting your hip towards the side. Bending forward, bringing your chest parallel towards the ground as you engage your core and hold yourself over here. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, gaze towards your nose. Visualize yourself filled with serene emptiness, your mind a clear boundless sky free of distraction in Shunyasana Uttaranga.
करद्वयमुष्टिबद्धा ततः पृथिव्यां संस्थाप्यान्तरिक्षम् उत्थाप्य लक्ष्यं रथे जिति.
We are going to repeat these set of asanas on the other side, starting with Dakshina Shuddha Padasana. Stand tall with your weight grounded through one leg and your core engaged to lift the opposite off the ground, completely bringing it parallel towards the ground. Keeping your hands together into the Namaskara Mudra in front of your chest, doing the Sahaja Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. See your standing foot as being washed clean from the inside out, old heaviness draining away, fresh steadiness racing up the leg in Dakshina Shuddha Padasana.
Dakshina Shuddha Padasana.
And now in Gavakshasana, you're going to bring the back of the extended foot onto your opposite inner thigh as you slightly bend your knees forward, keeping your hands together into the Namaskara Mudra. Doing the Sahaja Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, visualize yourself seeing through the eyes of a cow, viewing the world without aggression or fear as you continue to do the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham in Gavakshasana.
Gavakshasana.
And now repeating Shunyasana on the other side as you bend forward and now place the left foot onto the left elbow. And if you're doing it on the right side, placing the right foot onto the right elbow and twisting your entire body towards the opposite direction. Bending forward, doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Gaze towards your nose. Visualize yourself filled with serene emptiness, your body a clear boundless sky free of distraction in Shunyasana Uttaranga.
करद्वयमुष्टिबद्धा ततः पृथिव्यां संस्थाप्यान्तरिक्षम् उत्थाप्य लक्ष्यं रथे जिति.
You can now relax, coming to a deep squat position, placing both the feet firmly onto the ground, raising gently, slightly up off your ankle. You're going to be balancing your hips slightly onto the ground in the air as you lift your hips off the heels. Your feet will remain flat onto the ground as you lift your hip off the heels and having it floating off the ground. Doing the Namaskara Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, you're going to gaze towards your nose. Visualize yourself radiating openness, gratitude and abundance in Bhagasana.
पादद्वयस्य पार्श्याग्रे लिङ्गभूम्यो दृढं न्यसेत् शनैरुत्थाय हस्ताभ्यां धृत्वा भूमिं ततः पुनः.
Now you can relax. As we do the Utpidasana, step your feet wide apart, heels well beyond the shoulder width. Nicely wide apart. As you now come to a squat position, bringing your hips down and bringing your legs into a 90 degrees angle. As you remain over here, keeping your hands onto your respective knees, doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Samavritti Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself grounded firmly as a temple pillar existing for thousands of years. Into Utpidasana.
पार्ष्णे उन्नते कृत्वा स्पिघौजानुतुल्ये अवन्मय उत्पीडासनम् इदं पीडनासनम् इति.
And the next asana is Pani Mukta Dhrumasana. So the Pani Mukta Dhrumasana is going to be an inverted position. So if you're a female body in a monthly cycle, please refrain from doing this asana and do it very carefully. If you're doing it for the first time, take the support of a wall and always ensure that there is someone around you. And always ensure that there is someone around you when you practice this asana, and you can take the support of a wall or a partner to enter into the asana. You're going to be placing your head firmly onto the ground and lifting your legs off the ground as you find the balance and hold yourself in this asana. If your partner is comfortable with your balance, you can also just hold on to onto their toes or only one foot so that they balance more into the asana. Doing the Samavritti Kumbhaka and Shambhavi Mudra, Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as a tall tree standing on smooth rock with no roots visible anywhere, yet still effortlessly upright through every gust of wind in Pani Mukta Dhrumasana.
पाणिमुक्तद्रुमासन.
Remaining in the same position into Matsyendrasana. As you start visualizing yourself like Matsyendra, hidden beneath existence's vast shimmering ocean depths, attentively overhearing Paramashiva's secret teachings to Devi Parvati amid profound cosmic stillness in Matsyendrasana Trini.
मत्स्येन्द्रासन त्रीणि.
The next is Ardhasana. You can now come to a comfortable seated position, bringing one foot and placing it on top of the opposite thigh, keeping the other leg bent beneath you and extended comfortably as you do the Vaishnavi Mudra, holding the outer vision steady without blinking while awareness remains inwardly observed. You can place the palms onto your respective knees, doing the Apakarshaka Kumbhaka. You're going to be partially closing the nose and holding your breath and then slowly releasing it. Gazing towards your third eye, doing the Mula Bandha, firmly contracting the muscles of the pelvic floor, lifting it upward without tension. Visualize the supreme pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, in your inner space in Ardhasana.
करुमासनमपि श्रेष्ठं दुर्धरासनमुच्यते गजासनं समुद्दिष्टं ततोर्धासनमुच्यते.
Now we are going to be doing the Dakshina Chaturamsha Padasana, starting from a seated position, stacking one knee over the other and placing the hands on top of your knee that is stacked on the top. Keeping your head, neck and spine in a straight line, placing your hands on your above knee, doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Apakarshaka Kumbhaka and Mulabandha. Visualize your lower body organizing itself with precision as if every part knows its exact place and role as you gaze towards your nose.
Dakshina Chaturam Chapadasana.
Keeping your legs in the same position, the back of your wrist is now going to come onto the respective hips. As you keep your head, neck and spine in a straight line, continuing to engage in the Shambhavi Mudra and Apakarshaka Kumbhaka, doing the Mula Bandha. Visualize grounded patience, rhythmic precision, unhurried power, quiet reliability, resilient focus, and steady endurance honed through tireless repetition in Charapati Asana.
Charapati Asana.
And now in Govindasana, you're going to keep both your palms facing towards the sky, resting on top of each other, on top of the knee as you do the Shambhavi Mudra and Apakarshaka Kumbhaka, continuing to contract the muscles of the pelvic floor in the Mula Bandha. Visualize seated as calm guardian, steady, unhurried, holding the space in Govindasana.
Govindasana.
Keeping your legs in the same position, now you're going to be holding on to your opposite feet. As you do the Shakti Chalana Mudra, awakening the base energy with steady intent, drawing the prana upward through the spine. As you feel the energy spreading through the entire body, doing the Apakarsha Kumbhaka, partially closing the nose and inhaling through the nose, holding the breath and exhaling. As you continue to do the Mula Bandha, you're also going to engage your abdomen and draw it inward and up into the Udhyana Bandha, gazing towards your nose. Visualize your Kundalini awakening from the base of your spine. See the wave-like movement, simulating digestion and energizing your entire body by activating the internal fire within. In Lavli Asana,
सर्वाङ्गचालनादेव कुण्डली शक्तिचालनं चालनात् कुण्डली देव्याश्चेतना सा भवेत् प्रभो.
now bending forward in the same position as you bring your forehead slightly towards the ground as much as possible, doing the Prana Mudra, holding on to your respective toes with the support of your index and middle finger, Apakarshaka Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Gaze towards your nose. Visualize your Kundalini as a sacred flame being ignited by a spinning stick, creating glowing embers to awaken a powerful fire within. In Janu Preranahasana.
जानुपीडनं कृत्वा मध्यं सव्यदक्षिणं प्रेरयेत्.
Next is Pada Samyukta Parivrttihasana. You can actually slightly bring your foot forward, hold on to your foot, and then completely bring it towards the sides of your hip as you cross your hands such that your elbows are crossed in front of your body. Completely feeling the stretch in your shoulder region as you do the Prana Mudra, Apakarshaka Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. You're now going to gaze towards your side as you bend your body towards the side of the knees that is there, stacked on top. As you visualize your Kundalini awakening along your spine, gently flowing upward as you sit with your legs crossed, twisting gracefully to one side in Pada Samyukta Parivrttihasana.
ललाटं भूमौ नमयित्वा ग्रीवापृष्ठं परिवर्त्य पादौ संक्राम्य विपरीतान् अङ्गुष्ठान् गृहीत्वा पूर्वं प्रणमेत्.
And now we're going to be crossing the hands from behind the back and holding on to the opposite feet in the Prana Mudra with the support of your index and middle finger. You're going to be holding on to your feet from behind your back as you align your elbows crossed completely behind your back as you feel the stretches of your chest region now. As you gaze towards your nose, visualize a fierce focused energy igniting within you like Paramashiva's arrow piercing through inertia in Ganeshasana.
गोमुखे संस्थितं कृत्वा पार्ष्णि व्यत्यस्य युग्मके तत्र शिवनिकां स्थाप्य गणेशासनमिरितम्.
And now bringing the elbows pointing up towards the sky as you place your palms flat onto the opposite shoulders. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Apakarshaka Kumbhaka and Mulabandha, gaze towards your nose. Visualize yourself embodying the gentle awareness of a cow's face, soft, wide eyes, open to the world with calm patience in Gomukhasana Trini.
भैरवं कामदहनं पाणिपात्रं च कार्मुकं स्वस्तिकं गोमुखं वीरं माण्डूकं मर्कटासनम्.
And now in Gomukhasana Chatwari, you're going to be pointing your right elbow up towards the sky while bringing the left from below, left elbow pointing towards the ground. You're going to be interlocking your hands behind your back. As you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Apakarshaka Kumbhaka and Mulabandha, gaze towards your third eye. Visualize yourself as a gentle, intelligent cow embodying calm patience, deep, nurturing care, and grounded strength in Gomukhasana Chatwari.
सिद्धं पद्मं तथा सिंहं भद्रं वज्रं च मुक्तकं गुप्तं गोमुखमेकं च वीरं स्वस्तिकमेव च.
The next is Shuddhadvasana. You can come flat onto the back, laying flat onto the back, extending your legs forward, palms facing up towards the sky, placed above your head. As you keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward with awareness resting deeply within in Shambhavi Mudra, Kevala Kumbhaka, allowing the breath to pause naturally, observing it without forcing, and doing the Mulabandha, gaze towards your third eye. Visualize yourself lying on a clear, unobstructed path with nothing to avoid, resist, or correct in Shuddhadvasana.
शुद्धाद्वासना.
And if you had noticed, we had only done the set of asanas, the sitting set of asanas on the other side. Tomorrow we are going to be repeating the asanas onto the opposite leg. So from the same position, you're going to be coming onto your stomach now and keeping your hands placed on top of your head as you slightly lift your chest off the ground. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, exhaling fully and holding the breath out without inhaling into the Rechaka Kumbhaka, and contracting the muscles of the pelvic floor, lifting it upward without tension in Mulabandha. Visualize yourself as the very cobra wrapped around Paramashiva's neck, the protective hood of a serpent guarding, focusing and channeling the power, cosmic energy which you adorn and protect in Shivasana.
उदरं भूतले न्यस्य पृष्ठं वक्रितमञ्चितं फणामिवोत्थितां मूर्ध्नि हस्तौ धारयतः शिवाम्.
Now coming onto your back into the last asana for today, the Shavasana Chatwari. In Shavasana Chatwari, you're going to rest your entire body down onto the ground, palms facing up towards the sky, feet relaxed such that it points outward. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Kevala Kumbhaka and Mulabandha. Keep your gaze inward. Visualize your body as sacred offering to death, surrendering reverently. Breath slows gently, merging into silent wave. Each exhale deepens release, tension, thoughts, attachments, emptied breath by breath. Sense dissolution beyond form. Identity, form and identity. Only pure spaciousness remains vast, still and infinite within you. In Shavasana Chatwari.
शवरूपं स्वदेहं तु संविभाव्य सुमप्रभं तत्रैव निलयः कार्य प्राणापानविलासत्.
Relax. Now you can slowly start moving your ankles, your feet, bringing your knees towards your chest and coming to a seated position. Congratulations to each and every one of you who have joined us for today's Nithyananda Yoga session. We are now coming to the conclusion of 100 asanas. And if you've been joining us for everyday sequence, today we are completing 800 asanas. Tomorrow we are going to enter into the Panchama Vinyasa Krama, doing the fifth part of the Sakala Vinyasa Krama of the Nithyananda Yoga. With this, we are going to be concluding the session with the Purna Mantra, keeping the hands together in front of your chest and offering your gratitude to Swamiji for gifting the entire humanity with the science of Nithyananda Yoga as you complete with the Purna Mantra.
ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ तत्सत् सर्वं भगवत् श्रीनित्यानन्द परमशिवपादुकार्पणमस्तु ॐ नित्यानन्दम्.
Now you can turn towards your Atmamurti and bow down in front of Swamiji, offering your gratitude. We would like to invite all of you to join us within next 2 hours. We'll be also having the Pratyaksha Pada Puja, Paramashiva Puja and the Shastra Adhyayana. You can join us and tune in for that as well.